Adams State College. Great stories begin here.
Again, good evening. I'm Tony Cantu. I'm president of the Adams State College Alumni Association, and welcome to our homecoming awards banquet. Welcome home. You know, they say that great stories begin here at Adams State College, and tonight we will be sharing 3 great stories about 3 great people. So sit back and enjoy the evening. In conjunction with the banquet, our bylaws require us to also have our annual meeting for our Alumni Association. However, before we get started, could you please join me in singing the alma mater? And you'll find it in your program, first page. And this will be performed tonight by Janine Holcomb, class of 89-94. And she will be accompanied by Gabe Swanson, class of 04. Would you please stand? We'll officially call this Adams State College Alumni Association meeting to order. Could I please have all of the Adams State College alumni stand, please? All alumni. Our bylaws require that we establish a quorum. Karen Rubidoux Miller, our Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I want to share the mission statement of the Alumni Association, and it reads as follows. The mission of Adams State College Alumni Association Board of Directors is to reach out to the current alumni, the future alumni, and the community in order to cultivate loyalty, pride, and commitment to Adams State College. Now, if there's no other further business, we will continue with our banquet. At this time, I want to go over some introductions, and here at the head table, we have our Adams State College President, Dr. Savaldi, and his wife, Virginia. The Director of Alumni Relations, Lori Lasky, class of 91 and 01. And to my left, I have my wife, Eileen Cantu. And one of the award winners, Tom Jones, and his wife, Joanne. Another award winner, Denise Trujillo, and her son, Matthew Benavides. here we have Don Stegman and his grandson Kyle Nye. And Kyle, I understand you had a birthday yesterday, right? 17th? Happy birthday. We also have a few other introductions I want to make. Our program coordinator, Gayleen Horning. Where are you, Gayleen? She's probably still outside. Our executive director of the foundation, Tammy Lopez, class of 91, 2000. Tammy. The executive assistant to the president and the board of trustees, James Trujillo. The assistant to the president and editor of the A-Stater, Julie Wechter. Julie. Linda Relia, our assistant director of communications. Linda, you're back there. We also have our Adams State College Board of Trustees with us tonight. Stephen Valdez, chairman. Stephen. Gigi Dericadas. Is Gigi with us tonight? She'll be here. And then our student trustee, Kenny Skelly. Okay. All right. We'll move on to the foundation board members. Probably football practice. We'll excuse him. Dwayne Bussey, president of the foundation. Dwayne? Russell Locketts. And is Greg Burbick here tonight? Greg? There he is. Greg. Jenny Jack, class of 85. And I know I saw Chuck Owsley. Where are you, Chuck? There he is. And Rich Skanga, class of 75. Richard. I also want to introduce some of our alumni board members that are here tonight. Casey Russell, class of 03. He's my vice president. Casey. And then Madam's secretary, Karen Rubidoux Miller. Lynn Michalke. Where are you, Lynn? I don't know. Robert Orendolph, class of 71. Robert. And Sandy Ortega, class of 74. And Richard Skanga again, class of 75. And Delzy Worley, class of 97. Then I'm happy to announce that we have some past outstanding alumni with us tonight. Charlotte Rubisky. Where are you, Charlotte? Right here. And Dwayne Bussey. And I know I saw Bill Waters. Bill? Oh, he's way back. And Carlos Lucero. And I believe that concludes the introductions for now. So we'll take a short break and please enjoy your meal, okay? this year we're recognizing the reunion groups that graduated in the year ending with a 1 or a 6. So I want to recognize these reunion groups. So as I call you, would you please stand? But would you please hold your applause till we have all of the reunion groups standing? So I want to start with the class of 1961. 1961. I have a pretty good group in 61. 1966. Please remain standing. 66. 1971 is next. And then 1976. 1981. 1986. 1991, 1996, and 2001 and 2006. Thank you for joining us. And now we have a few words from our president, Dr. Savaldi.
Good evening, welcome. Welcome back, I would add that to what Tony said. And tell you, our house is your house, and we're really glad that you're back here. It's good to see all of you and to see so many familiar faces. And I would like, sometimes redundancy is a good thing, that it's important to recognize. I know how hard the people who put this celebration together work, and I'm going to recognize them one more time. Lori Lasky, Jenny Lopez, Aileen Morning. Please stand up. These 3 individuals are currently doing the work that 6 people used to do. It's a little indicative of where our state is in terms of the support of education and higher education, but they do an absolutely outstanding job and make my job easier. I'd also like to recognize our just an exceptional athletic director, Mr. Larry Mortensen. Larry, back there by the door. Larry. And it's always good to stay good with the law, and I'd like to recognize again Judge Carlos Lucero and his wife, Jordan. Joining us is one of my bosses, one of my 9 bosses, the vice chair of the Adams State College Board of Trustees, Mr. Arnold Salazar. Arnold. And finally, this is going to surprise this individual, and I'm going to talk a little more about a really good thing that happened to us in just a few minutes. We have a grant writer that we hired about a year ago. I actually tried to convince Tony Becker to come here 3 years ago, and it took the persuasive Bill Manshine to get her to come and work with us. In that space of about a year, we're right at $4 million in grants. I'm not that great with numbers, but I want to recognize Tony because she's worked above and beyond, and she's just doing a great job. My job is to give you a little update on the college. Our homecoming tradition is now 78 years old. And I've said, I think every year that it's important. It's a ceremony that links our past with our future. And we come together to celebrate our past victories, our current victories, and hope for future victories. And I think it's important this year to stop and remember some of our special Adams State Indians and Grizzlies who aren't necessarily with us here in body, but we're here in spirit. Certainly, Myron Clayton was one of the individuals that was here when I was hired. Spud Orr, one of the greatest coaches in our history. And of course, the great Marv Moats. Probably 60 years since Marvin hasn't participated in this event, but we miss them, but we know they're here in spirit. And it's a tough thing not to have people with us, but it's wonderful that we had them with us for the time that we had. So let's just take a second and think about those individuals and all the other individuals I didn't name that you all know better than I do. Thanks. And thanks to those folks too. Now some good news. Our enrollment this year is about 6% above our enrollment this time last year, and our enrollment this time last year was an all-time record. So we're very excited about that particular news. We've increased our overall enrollment over the last 3 years by 34%. We have a record number of students. We have a record number of students living on campus, about 300 new students living on our campus in our new dorm as well as our remodeled dorms. We are currently the second fastest growing four-year institution in Colorado, second only to that institution formerly known as Mesa State College. Now I think they're called Mesa University or something. I'm not exactly sure. They used to be a good school when I got my 2-year degree there. I want to thank our Senior Vice President for Enrollment Management, Dr. Michael Humber, who couldn't be with us this evening, for his hard work on enrollment, and also Athletic Director Larry Mortensen, because many of our students, our new students that we've recruited, have come here as student athletes. You can see if you walked around campus today, if you haven't had time, we have really good campus lighting now. I urge you to walk around this evening, walk off some of this wonderful food that Sept gave us tonight. Lots of complete or nearly complete projects. Our residence at Rex, which is our newest dorm in over 40 years at Adams State College, is complete. The stadium is more or less complete. As some of you who've ever worked with a construction project, you know there's always more things on the punch list that you need to get fixed. But we had our first night football game in Adams State history utilizing the new stadium about 2 weeks ago. And regrettably, it was a close loss to CSU Pueblo. We have a new parking. You never have enough parking lots like that. That's what I've been told. The new parking lot north of Coronado is open. The new lacrosse and softball field is open in that same area. The renovation of the A&D wings of Coronado and the south wing of Gerald are complete. The remodel of what the building used to know as the ES building, now McDaniel Hall, is nearing completion. They've done a good job, I think, in terms of the landscaping around the building, and we expect within 4 to 6 weeks to take possession of that building. The music building is in use. There's still some things to do outside of it that need to be completed. There's a tour tomorrow, I think, between 4 and 6 for any of you who stay around. There is a benefit concert for the new Richmond studio that's being dedicated tomorrow, so I hope you'll take the advantage of seeing that old building, which has now become a new, beautiful building. Our new campus green and walkway is open. If you have time, visit our library. We have a new information commons open on the 2nd floor. And we're actually also remodeling the 1st floor of the library. Our new Student Success Building is projected to be completely ready by October 24th. And finally, some of the good news I mentioned when I talked about Tony Becker. We were just awarded a $3.6 million Title V grant to improve our success rate and the number of our STEM graduates. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and math. And there are some construction projects related to that. We'll be able to upgrade the planetarium from 1960s. There's nothing wrong with the 60s. I had a good time in the 60s. But some of the technology from that time is kind of dated. And it's going to give us the opportunity to update that planetarium. We're going to construct a new observatory on the North Campus and complete an addition on Porter Hall, which will add some study space for students and some undergraduate research labs for students. The new restaurant Vistas in our stadium is open for business. And today, I'm happy to announce the Adams State College Board of Trustees approved a new lease purchase plan to acquire the Evans School, which is 2 blocks down First Street here. This will give us more spaces for classroom and for office spaces, and it's, I think, a great deal for the school district, a great deal for the college, and a very good thing for our Alamosa community that building will remain in use. And yes, we are moving forward with our name change from Adams State College to Adams State University. If successful, and we think we will be, it will take effect August 1st, 2012. It's an exciting time to be here. I have, so many great people to work with. The trustees, the folks my direct reports. Some days I kind of wonder why do I do this job, and then other days like today, I'm glad I have this job because of past alumni like all of you, our current students, which are just wonderful, and everybody at the head table, and especially my wife Virginia, who has to put up with me every night. So it's great to see all of you. I hope you enjoy our many activities. Come back next year.
Thank you, Dr. Savoldi. And now I want to share some information about the Adams State College Alumni Association. Did you know that we had 22,250 Adams State alumni? 22,250. In 2011, the Alumni Association and the Alumni Relations hosted 40 events and 4 reunions. And then we also had, in June, we had our second annual travel program cruise, and that went to the Caribbean. And then from January to September of this year, we visited 975 alumni throughout the United States and, of course, the Caribbean. We also awarded 10 scholarships to deserving students, and we also mailed 3 issues of the H-Stater. And I do want to remind you that for 2013, we're planning our 3rd alumni cruise, which will be going up the East Coast. And this idea came actually from the alumni, about having cruises and getting together with as many alumni as possible. Well, now we're ready to introduce our award winners. And of course, the first one that we have is the 2011 Exceptional New Alumna. And let me tell you a little bit about the Exceptional New Alumna. This award recognizes graduates within the last 7 years who have demonstrated above average work in their field, in their career, and shows exceptional potential for continued success. And of course, this year, the 2011 Exceptional New Alumna is from the class of 2007, Denise Trujillo. Speak about Denise is her son, Matthew Benavides. Matthew?
Hello, I'm here to speak on behalf of Dr. Trujillo. Okay, Denise. First, let me tell you how sorry I am that I am unable to be here with your family, friends, and colleagues to share this special moment with you. But I'm sure your son will do a fabulous job as reads these words on my behalf. And since I'm unable to be here, I have charged others to pull out their cameras so I have proof you are embracing this moment, a moment you should be very proud of. My words today will be few and simple, yet filled with sincerity. After all, no one likes long speeches, and I'm sure your son will never forgive me if I go on and on. Trust me, I won't. When I heard Adams State Alumni Office was seeking nominations for the Exponential New Alumnus Award, I knew that you would be the perfect candidate for this honor. I believe that too. Just saying. My thoughts were validated when I brought this up with faculty meeting. Without hesitation, the nursing department faculty and staff brought up your name over and over again, providing examples of why you'd be the perfect candidate. Denise, you have been one of the biggest proponents for my nursing program in the community. You have shared your academic experience with others in a positive light and constantly encourages others to continue their education. Like me, even though I don't like school, it is clear to anyone who has a conversation with you that you value your educational journey, not only here at Adams, but also in your master's program, and we are proud that we have been part of your journey with you. I know I speak on behalf of all the nursing colleagues presented here today. When I say thank you for giving back to the nursing community in the San Luis Valley and to the ASU nursing program, as fellow nurses, we know how hard it is to juggle our profession, family, and community activities. Yet you seem to handle the workload very well. I don't think I've ever seen you frown at the opportunity to help someone else. I admire that about you and want to take this opportunity to thank you for reminding me to smile more when times get crazy busy. Thank you for always finding the time to run to our rescue when we need an extra help in the lab or in a clinical. When we run out of supplies or when we need help preparing mundane yet necessary reports, we also appreciate your innovative ideas that help us make our nursing program a better program for future nursing students. I only have one request. Please don't turn off your phone because I'm sure I will be calling upon you once again. Congratulations, Denise. You definitely deserve this recognition. You have set a very good example for your son, and you are serving a role model for single mothers, Latina women, and proposing nurses, among many others. You should be extremely proud of yourself for all of your accomplishments. I know your family, friends, and colleagues are proud of you. Now wipe away those tears. I know you. Hold your head up high and accept this award with an open heart as you often share with others. It is time for us to give back to you. Congratulations, and I will be expecting a big hug when I return. Okay, so now that the nerves are out, I have something I would like to share. You're my biggest role model, and where I'm at today, I can be without you. Sorry. Being a single mother, always going to my games, and everything else, I will never ever be able to repay you back. And I am extremely proud of you, and I know you say you want to give up in school and everything else, but you can't because you're stronger than that. And you will be my biggest role model for the rest of my life, and I will always, always be here when you need someone to talk to. Thank you.
Denise, I'm sure you're really proud of your son, Matthew. I know he's quite a bowler, too, isn't he, and a golfer. Yeah, you should be proud of him.
11th in the state.
Denise, will you please approach the podium?
I could top that. I am truly honored to be accepting the Alumna Award. To be nominated for this award in itself is a great honor. To be the recipient can only be regarded as a pinnacle of what one might hope to achieve as an alumnus of Alumni State College, and it is definitely a humbling experience. Born and raised in Alamosa, I am the youngest of three. My dreams of becoming a nurse began at the age of 5. I have grown from LPN to RN to BSN to MSN, yet my journey is not complete. I am often asked why I continue to further my education. I share with those who ask what my education has brought to me: knowledge, lifelong experiences, lifelong friendships, the superlative position I hold with Valley White Health Systems, thank you, and the ability to share the learning tools passed on to me to the novice nursing students at Adams State College. The impetus of the fruition of the baccalaureate nursing program at Adams State embarked new life opportunities, not only for me, but also for a group of diversified nursing seeking to advance in their career without having to leave the San Luis Valley. I thank Adams State College and the nursing faculty for having the incredible desire and perseverance to implement a successful nursing program in a rural area. I am forever grateful to Dr. Amanda Trujillo, Dr. Vicki Brownrigg, and Emmeline Martinez, where they taught me how to fine-tune my nursing skills and introduced me to the incredible power of knowledge and reinforced the importance of reaching my dreams. My passion is to help others. I will always be there for the nursing faculty and students, whether it's to bring them cookies or cupcakes or interrupt a class just to tell them they can do it. I will always be there for them. I thank my son Matthew for his patience and unconditional love, my fiance Gary, my sisters Pamela and Linda, Donna, Mr. Hawkins, Joyce, Sammy, my family, and my true friends, as they have encouraged me to face my challenges, stand strong, and fulfill my aspirations. Dr. Savaldi, Adams State College faculty, the Alumni Association, and my fellow alumnus, I proudly accept the Exceptional Alumni Award. In closing, I would like to share a genesis with you from an unknown author. I shall pass this way but once. Therefore my goodness that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer it, nor neglect it, for I shall pass this way but once. In memory of my mother Millie, who is so proud of my accomplishments, I dedicate this evening to her. Thank you.
Denise Trujillo, what a great day. Congratulations. Our next award is for the Outstanding Alumnus, and the Outstanding Alumni Award was started back in 1959 by the Alumni Association as a way to honor graduates from Adams State College that had gone on to outstanding careers and personal growth. This year, we want to recognize Tom Jones, class of 1952, as the Outstanding Alumnus for 2011. Tom Jones. And speaking for Tom Jones, we have Robin Stubenhofer, Scott Jones, and Valerie Jones.
yes, I went from Jones to Stephen Hopper. It wasn't quite the good transition. So when we were notified that our dad won the award, we decided that we all wanted to speak a little bit on his behalf. So we have some different sections that we're going to talk about. Said I'm Robin, I'm the oldest daughter, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I'm going to use a little bit of analogy here. I don't know how many of you know the song American Girl by Trujillo, but it talks about the picture of the mom in heels and pearls and trying to make it in her daddy's world. Well, that would be me. I'm the daughter who went into the same business that my dad was in over the years. And the thing that I want to tell you is, he may not have said very much in the stater about what he could do and what he had done, but the thing that you need to understand is, over his career, he was dedicated, he traveled, he was at the places where they were making the products that made up the nuclear weapons that he couldn't tell you very much about. Much of it's been declassified over time, but the thing that you need to understand, especially besides his dedication to the job that he did over those many years, is that what he really worked on was to make it safe, not only for the folks in the U.S., but to make it safe for the rest of the world. So that's my piece of the evening, and I'm going to turn this over to my sister Valerie.
I remember it like it was yesterday. We were sitting on the back porch of our house in Albuquerque, and my dad asked me what I planned to do after college. I wasn't ready to graduate for a couple more years, but I already knew. I said, I want to travel the world. Planes, trains, automobiles, I don't care. I want to be in motion. I want to see as much of this world as possible. So we talked about that for a little while, and pretty soon I said, you know, Dad, that doesn't sound very noble, that I just want to travel. And he said, follow what you love, and wherever that takes you, make a difference there. My dad is one of those people that followed his own advice, and he made a difference, not only to our family, but to this country. And I am proud that he's my father.
So they were supposed to be insightful, and so I'll be a little bit more humorous. I'm not going to talk about careers, because I think when we're all laid to rest, I hope that at my funeral they do not speak of what I did at work, but the person that I was. And when I think of my father, I think of a couple things. First of all, my father accomplished many things, but in no way did he ever brag about it, act like he was all that. He was more humble in humility. And one thing I'll always remember in my life, anytime I lead people or part of a group, that you have to be humble. It's not about you, it's about the journey, it's about what you're going to accomplish. I think the second thing he's never taught me about, which is a good thing, it was about bitterness or hate. My father was always open to anybody, to help anybody, always willing to open up, open hand. The great thing about the Southwest is there's so many different cultures that make up the West. And no matter what race, color, creed, age, whatever it was, my father was always open to that person, which is an amazing thing. Also, I mean, my sisters, they never had expectations to find a rich husband and marry him. It was, you're doing something, career. So that's always expected what my sisters have done amazing things. And most of all, you know, my father's taught me things that I love to do, about friendship, about, you know, working as a group, hitting a crisp 5-iron on the 18th, you know, hole to complete a nice round, or watching a great game. One thing I always remember is my father is about people. He cares about people a great deal. He's had an incredible career with more of all. He's been about people and working for them to make it a better world. So thank you, Dad, for everything.
Tom Jones, would you please approach the podium?
I don't know whether I can follow anything that they said with something knowledgeable or not. But point that I was going to try and make tonight is, even though I was, during my career, was deep in the nuclear weapons business, not because of what it did that was bad, but what it did that was good to make people think and try and improve situations which they ran into. And trust me, these are not simple gadgets. They are very complicated. They take people with tremendous school knowledge, knowledge on their own behalf. And without that knowledge, our country would not be what it is today. And I sure want to encourage each of you to support the educational efforts in all of your life expressions, and make sure that our educational system continues to improve and gathers up all of the people who would like to pursue that and support our country to its magnificent glory in the future. Thank you.
What a great story. Congratulations, Tom Jones. Our next award is the Billy Adams Award. And the Billy Adams Award is the highest honor that is given by the college. The president and his executive team select the recipient. And the recipient represents the ideals of Billy Adams and his quest for educational opportunity here in rural Colorado. They are also honored for the variety of service to the college. And this year we are proud to recognize Don Stegman, class of 61-64, as the 2011 Billy Adams Award winner. Don Stegman. First speaker will be Dr. David Savaldi.
My friend Don Stegman has spent his entire adult life as either an Indian or a grizzly. I think probably he prefers the Indian, but he's embraced the grizzly with a lot of grace. He's a bridge back to Dr. Pocky and Dr. Marvel, and also to hundreds, maybe thousands of Adams State College students who managed to survive his grammar and linguistics class, as well as his English 102 classes. He's been a friend to me since I first interviewed at Adams State College over 26 years ago. He's above all else a good and kind person who always puts others before himself. As a professor, he walked the talk of quality education with a personal touch. He's a fisherman's fisherman, father, grandfather, and still in love with Joyce. I can think of no one more deserving of this recognition than Don. The instant agreement I reached, because, oftentimes my executive team doesn't agree, and when I said, well, here's the individual I'm considering to be our Billy Adams Award winner this year, it was like that. You've got individuals who are still kids, like Ken Marquez. He's not only short, he's young. Everyone immediately said, what a great choice. It was unanimous. This shows the depth of respect that Don has across our campus and across generations. I'm sure that Charlotte Babisky will add details about this year's Billy Adams Award winner. Charlotte?
It is definitely an honor and a privilege to be standing here giving this award to a very special person who's been a big part of our lives and touched thousands and hundreds and thousands of students with all kinds of life skills and willingness to work in the world in a positive manner. Don is the epitome of someone who is always there, wherever he is needed. He's a San Luis Valley native. He was born and raised in Monte Vista, and he went to school in Monte Vista. He was there as a joy for his parents, and then in their later years, he was there for them and helped take care of them. He and his brother Bob, his two sisters Sylvia and Wilma, were there at the Heidel family farm ranch where we all as cousins participated in many activities, up to the chagrin of many of our aunts, uncles, and grandparents, and especially the parents, from playing in the water in the horse trough to telling stories in the loft at the barn, the ghost stories. We had a good time, and Don was always there for us. Along with his wife, Joyce, raising their sons, Scott, Jeff, and Donna Sarah, he was always there for their joys, their successes, and their heartaches. He's now there for his grandchildren, attending all of their events and doing everything he can to be a special person in their lives. Don enrolled at Adams State College in 1957, and after graduation, went to Kansas for 2 years as a teacher, but couldn't stay away. He came back to Adams State, earned his master's, and became a professor on the staff of the Adams State College. He earned his master's degree in speech theater, education, and English, and became a part of that college, and that part of the college a very important part. He was always there for his colleagues as a friend and a mentor to thousands of students. There was a time in his teaching career when he and Jim Biondo shared rooms in what now is the Luther Dean Memorial Museum. And it was only, Jim shared this with me, Don, I hope you remember this. The rooms were separated by partial walls, and they were there for a long time sharing students and their curriculums. It got to the point where they'd come to a point in their lecture, and Don would say, and now students, Mr. Bienda will take over. Not even in the same room. Or Mr. Bienda would say, students, it's Mr. Stegman's turn. Was that the start of team teaching? Probably. Don retired in 1993. Okay, but he still says, he is still here, and it's a safe assumption to expect to see Don at functions at Adams State, whether it's participating in activity with an athletic event, a play, or a concert. Don is there. He's as much involved as he has ever been. Yes, Don is a very well-rounded citizen. He even served on the Alamosa School Board and very much, as Dr. Zavalli said, enjoys fishing. Many families in Alamosa have been the recipient of some of those fish and had very delicious dinners because Don thought of them. Just this summer, he took Mark Maltz, his special friend, and they went fishing, and Mark made the catch of the day, which put a triumphant gleam in Marv's eye. That's what it's all about, said Don, because he was there. Don is truly an ambassador for Adams State College. He travels to all alumni events throughout Colorado and neighboring states. No matter the site, there are always a number of people who say, Mr. Stegman, I was in your class of English. Do you remember me? And I'm sure Don has to say, yeah, can you help me out? And they say, thank you for all you did for me. It must be very satisfying to see an institution as it is today and know that you had a significant role in its growth. Don, I know that you must be very proud. There is nothing better than the Adams State College Billy Adams Award. You are truly, truly deserving, and congratulations.
This year, the award is a little bit different. It's actually a print. One of artist William Moore's works called The Critics. The Critics, I know about the Critics, but we wanted this to be something special for Don, something that he could have for a long time, and it's got a nice plaque on the bottom, and I think it's just a beautiful print. So, Don, well deserved.
Thank you, Dr. Savaldi, Charlotte, all those three gals that have been talked about tonight that head up the Alumni Association, and the Executive Director, Tammy Lopez with the foundation. What a team. They're green and white. They bleed green and white. Gail, I'm not going to be a house weeper. This is a house. We're not divided. We have a South Campus. We have a North Campus. They get along. They get something done. Didn't they get something done here? Class of 61. Wow. Yeah. Thank you all. I'm humbled to receive this great honor. I know that Billy Adams would be proud of this campus and the many people who keep this great institution moving forward. First of all, students, and I talk with a lot of them. I don't hear many gripes at all. They're happy to be here. There's building going on. There's people in front of that class that care about them, that one-to-one, that personality, one-to-one. That pride in that state. It's been there, it was there with us, with Dr. Trujillo, Don Brooks, Mr. Gantford, Dr. Lorimer. I could go on with many, many, many great professors that I had at Adams State College and colleagues. Later on, when I became a staff member, Dr. Plocky hired me. I'll never forget that. I was teaching in Kansas, came back, as Charlotte said, as a graduate assistant, and Dr. Plocky, in his way, said you did a pretty good job there. Would you like to come aboard with us? You're a graduate assistant, and they said you did a pretty good job. I said, oh, I'm honored, Dr. Plocky. He said, this is 1964. Your salary would be $6,600. Yeah, man, that was nice. I was in the public schools in Kansas and making about 42, 44, something in there. But I got on the college scene, and it just felt wonderful to be back at Adams State, too. Well, I got home and finally read the contract, because I was, elated. It was for 11 months instead of 9. Dr. Plocky was like that. Had his way. Well, students are the most important, the faculty, the administration, the staff, and the alumni. Boy, what a great turnout tonight. I have so many colleagues here and friends, I could go on and on. I thought, now I'm putting on a tie and my suit. You're probably going to get a lecture, but I won't do that. I'm going to spend about 2 minutes here yet. Homecoming is special, and what a treat for alumni. especially for those who haven't been here for some time. Is this really Adams State College? It's changed a little. It's a class of 61, right? I think our enrollment must have been about, what, 900,000 students back then? Soon there's a good chance it might become Adams State University. I think there's a darn good chance. ASU, not Arizona State University. We still are ahead of them alphabetically when prospective students read the list of colleges and universities. The university status would be in line with a really beautiful campus, with the pride all of us feel tonight. The personal touch is still part of Adams, has been and always will continue to be there as we move forward. The alumni office leadership, namely Lori Lasky, Galen Horning, see their names keep coming up, has done an outstanding job bringing people together, whether on campus or off, with event after event. What did we hit, 40-some events this past? Wow. And Tammy Lopez, the executive director of the SC Foundation, has done an outstanding job working with the board and administration. Lori, Galen, Tammy, that green and white blood. You just bleed that green and white. Beautiful to work with you. My family brings me great pride. Son Scott, his wife Laura, over here. All the way from Lake City, Texas. He doesn't have a southern drawl, but one time he says, "You're not really Texan until you say y'all, and then it's all you all, then you're a Texan, right?" Son Jeff and his wife Leslie. Jeff is followed my teaching business. He's a principal over in Pueblo at a charter school, Connect, downtown Pueblo, and middle school. And they do an outstanding job there. Jeff, he's busy all the time. But Leslie, the little boy, Braden, was here for a while tonight. He's out what?
They're out walking.
Walking, okay. Well, he's a little young, but you can tell him about this night, right? My daughter Karen, her husband Jerry. She called me here not too long ago and said, "Daddy, I'm a nurse." She got her pastor boards the first time. Beautiful. I have 9 wonderful grandchildren. 3 older ones, Kyle, Landon, and Taylor, are here tonight. Sitting up there with me is the oldest grandson, so he's privileged tonight to see him. My late wife, Joyce's parents are here. Dad and Mom from Pueblo. Here's the Ronald Grant. Other relatives, John and Joanne DeVillier, table. And of course, cousin Charlotte and her husband Tom Lobisky. My good friends Mildred and Gail Threlkel are at my table tonight. The late Dr. Bud Threlkel was one of my favorite professors at Adams. There are many, many other relatives and friends, colleagues, and former students in this audience tonight. Thank you for coming. I worked under great presidents and VPs, Dr. Plocky, Dr. Marvel, Dr. Fulkerson, Dr. Motes, Dr. Burnham. Dr. Savalli was a colleague of mine, as he told you earlier, for many years. He surfaced to the top for our screening committee as a speech professor in 1986. There were well over 100 applicants for that position. You can see why he came to the top. He's done a great job at Adams, and I hope we can keep him here for a long, long time in that position. Congratulations to Mrs. Trujillo and to Mr. Jones for their awards tonight. Good night and God bless you. And if you go to the jazz concert on the south side of the campus or the play tonight, enjoy those. Go Grizz tomorrow at the football game, right? Thank you very much.
Adams State College. Great stories begin here.